We have breaking news. Ukraine seems to be in the process of solving its air defense issues. Solving might still be a small exaggeration, but we are at a point where we only talk about a small exaggeration. Because right now talks are happening that they would receive not just one, not two, not three, but 8 batteries for the Patriot missile system. We'll talk about this, what this will mean in this short video. Now, the Financial Times is now publishing it. It's in a reputable publication that Israel is in talks to handing over its Patriot air defense to the Ukrainians over the US, very likely. Now, this was to be expected. We talked about it here on this channel when the news came out a couple of months ago that the Israelis were decommissioning their Patriot systems. That thing didn't make any sense unless in the context of the Ukraine war. Why would Israel decommission parts of its air defense for a better system in the process, while they are in the process of a sizable war where an escalation towards the Lebanon and towards Iran is still possible basically every day? So the only explanation was that the US were desperately looking for aid for Ukraine and offered Israel some deal. That's at least was to me the most likely event. Otherwise, the decommissioning at this very moment wouldn't have made any sense. You would wait at least until the war is over before before ending the usage of a capable system. Now we have here the Financial Times reporting that the US are negotiating with Israel to hand it over, and this would obviously be a big deal. Now we're talking about PAC-2, so this is not the PAC-3, which is capable of intercepting ballistic missiles. So they are not really capable of shooting that down, but it has some advantages at the same time. Because the PAC-2 missile is significantly bigger, it carries twice the range and 10 times the warhead. The warhead is over 80 kilos and thus has a significant punch, which would make it very difficult for the Russians to use their glide bombs. With its range of roughly 160 kilometers, at least that's the catalog range. The real range might even be bigger. That's clearly putting every Russian glide bomber fully into range of this system if it's anywhere close to the front line. The missiles it's going to come with are going to be usable by all the other systems already in use. And of course, Israel has a big stockpile that it has no use for it after it's handing over its Patriot systems. So we can expect a sizable stock of air defense missiles to be handed over to Ukraine as well once that deal goes through. Now, the number of it I was unfortunately not able to find because Israel used a lot of the missiles in tests in shooting down drones and other systems, and at the same time I didn't find any disclosure of the full number that was ever given. But I guess the very least we have a high 3-digit number to maybe a low 4-digit number of missiles that will become available at the near future. Now with PAC-2, we need to understand it won't work against the ballistic missile of the Iskander type, and it won't work against Kinshal, but it should work mostly against anything else, against planes, against cruise missiles, against drones if need be. And here we have on the deep state map the range of the PAC-2 system. If we take the official number of 160 kilometers, again, like theoretically 160 would be the maximum and not the practical usage. As soon as the target does some movements to try losing the missile, it burns energy and reduces its range. But at the same time, there is a real possibility that the actual range is bigger, as the Western side loves to give smaller numbers than what is actually the truth, but that would be pure speculation. Now, 8 batteries would show, like I just put one here, up here, which is probably, 50 kilometers away from the front line. It could still hit into the Crimean Peninsula. We can see here one in Zaporizhzhia could even hit the Azov Sea. One somewhere in this region could basically hit into Russia. And there you can see, we think about 8 batteries, one here, one here, one here, and one here, when we basically have all the front line covered with those batteries, and then there would still be 4 left. So one here, one here, one here, and basically all the countries covered. So this doesn't mean that all their issues are going to be solved. Using a Patriot missile against a Shahed drone will be a complete waste unless you have the missiles for free and in unlimited numbers. They will still need other air defense systems. They might be even if they are able to use them to that extent, at some point they might get issues with the missiles. But the US has a huge stockpile, supposedly over 6,000 still on storage of the missiles. They will be able to hand over at least a few. Other Western nations also have some, and Ukraine now gets priority from the fresh production lines, even though right now they are only at 500 missiles a year. Still though, that is big news. One of the biggest issue Ukraine has, next to its shell hunger and obviously loads of other issues, but one of the biggest there was the glide bombs. The Russians smashed the Ukrainian positions, especially around Avdiivka. Even heavily fortified positions are getting smashed by the Russian glide bombs. With this, we will see far less of it, and far more burning hulks going down from the sky while they are trying to drop glide bombs. So this could actually be a massive boost to Ukraine. Calling it a game changer is probably too much, but this is significant. It cannot be exaggerated that should Ukraine actually get 8 batteries. Now, the article says they are talking. This doesn't mean they are going to come next week. This isn't even a guarantee that all 8 batteries are coming. But it was said that Israel wants to decommission them, and if they are getting help from the US, which just allotted a significant amount of money in the Congress for emergency aid for Israel because of its war with Hamas, if they are getting the necessary aid to make up for it, then a lot of this at least is possible, and this can help the Ukrainians to a degree that few other aids so far, few other military aid packages have been able to help in this war so far. But let me know what you think about these developments, and if you like this, give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new here, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. This channel is only possible because of the support of viewers like you. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by the means in the description. Thank you to everyone already supporting this channel, and that's it from me for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back.